Happy Sunday! You're welcome to our channel. How are you doing now? How has your Sunday been? Yeah, good to have you here. Stay tuned and see you shortly. Yay! You are welcome back to our channel. My name is Morayo Ahunaya and I am your hostess on this channel. You know, this is our channel. So today we are actually discussing something that one of you actually brought to our table. So earlier in the week, I had a poll or a question that I put out that what would you like me to discuss this Sunday and maybe any other time. And out of the over 70 people that viewed that question, only 2 replied. Please, what is my offense? How have I offended you? What did I do? Anyways, I was shocked, but I'm still grateful to the 2 people who answered that question. Please don't be shy to ask me any question, or is it that I didn't ask the question the right way? If you have anything that you'd like to know, about pregnancy, about birth, I am very willing and open to share with you. This current series is for you. I don't want you to have the feeling that I had that, oh, I wish I had known. So if there's anything that I can do to help you in that regard, I'm willing and I'm happy to do that. Okay? So I got 2 questions, and funny enough, they were from 2 moms. And the first one was, can you talk about giving birth later in life? And I'm like, okay. And the second question was, can you discuss on anxiety and fear in motherhood? So those 2 questions. And just as I explained in DMs, I think I said that to you, that I'm going to be talking about them both in pre-delivery and post-delivery. I'm going to be talking about those 2 topics. But for now, for this season, I'm just going to be talking about them pre-delivery, and I hope to an extent it answers some of your questions. Next season, I will go back to them again. That is a promise. So the first one, I'm going to be talking about it under the topic of advanced maternal age, and the second one, I'm going to be talking about it under the topic of mental health in pregnancy, and that will be next week or the following week. Okay, so the first question, I'm talking about it under the bracket of advanced maternal age. You said I should discuss, giving birth later in life, and I checked. I researched on it for both genders, but what I found, or what was most common, was talking about it in relation to the women. The truth is that both men and women, suffer a level of infertility as their ages progresses, or as they get older. But it is more dire. The situation is more dire for the women than for the men. So we begin to see a lot more focus and concentration on them in comparison to the men. And so that's what I'll be addressing, if that is okay with you. Now, what is advanced maternal age? Advanced maternal age is pregnancy and delivery that occurs between or after the ages of 34 and 35 and above, basically. Why we inserted 34 a little is maybe you're pregnant at the age of 34 and then you deliver at the age of 35. So really, advanced maternal age is usually after 35 and above. And they have a term for 40 and above. It's actually called very advanced maternal age. So the short form for advanced maternal age, which I'll be using a lot, will be AMA. Okay? So before we start, I want to put it out there that the majority of children born to women who are 35 and above, the majority of these children are healthy, are strong, and some studies even show that they are taller and more educated than regular born babies. Can you imagine, or can you beat that? Yeah, so starting on that note. But still, there are a lot of risks that are associated with AMA, advanced maternal age. And we're going to go into them. But before we go into them, I'm going to talk about some of the causes of advanced maternal age. Now, the causes of AMA are, one of the most prevalent ones, lateness in marriage. Either by choice or either by life throwing it at the person. Some women get married late. Also, some women actually marry, in quote, on time, but face some challenges, due to different things, sometimes due to PCOS, due to different factors, and they cannot deliver or have children before the age of 35, So some of those things surrounding marriage, surrounding life is the cause. Another one, is assisted reproductive technology. Some people have actually given up on having children, and they're looking at adoption, and then someone whispers into their head, why don't you try IUI, why don't you try IVF or any other assisted reproductive technology? And then they try it at that advanced age and it works for them. So another cause for AMA is advanced maternal age. Another cause for AMA is actually very good and very reliable contraception. Right, as I said, by choice, some people actually choose, to have babies at that age. And as weird as it is true. I remember on my end, I have a friend, we got married a year apart, and she put in contraception that would last her at least 5 years. And then I had contraception to put in place, and then we used to just talk back and forth. How old am I? I am 28, going on 29 this year. So just imagine, and we're in about the same age. So that by choice, she may, have a child or her children if she chooses to at an advanced age. So that is another thing. That is another cause for AMA. So what are the risks associated with advanced maternal age? One of the first ones is chromosomal disorders or abnormalities in the child. Because the quality of the egg of the woman, probably of a partner too, is greatly reduced, the quality of the child produced may also be affected. Once a woman is born, from the time that we are born, until menopause, our eggs begin to decrease both in quantity and in quality. But from the age of 35, that decrease, maybe from before it was 0 to 50%. When you hit 35, the decrease becomes by 50%. So before that, maybe by 15%, then after that by 50%. So the reduction in the quality and quantity is crazy, if I'm allowed to use that word, after the age of 35. So there may be some chromosomal abnormalities with the egg and then with the child. You get what I mean? Another risk to AMA, advanced maternal age, is gestational diabetes. We're going to talk about gestational diabetes most likely next week or next 2 weeks. And it's a condition whereby, the body is producing insulin to work on blood sugar, the insulin that converts the sugars and all that and all that good stuff. And at some point during pregnancy, the body begins to resist the production of that, and then the blood sugar becomes high, and then gestational diabetes occurs, and it can be risky. Another thing that is a risk to AMA is you are more prone to the hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. There are about 4 of them. There is gestational hypertension, hypertension, increase in your blood pressure and all that just comes about because you are pregnant. There is also chronic hypertension, there's preeclampsia, there's chronic hypertension coupled with or with superimposed preeclampsia. So those 4 conditions of pregnancy hypertension or hypertension in pregnancy, the person is prone to them. But that will not be your portion in Jesus' name. Another thing that will likely happen is you're prone to have multiples, that is more than one baby. The reason is because after the age of 35, when women are ovulating, there seems to be an erratic behavior of that whole ovulating system where more than one egg is released at the same time. So there's this erratic behavior that everything is going through, and because of that, you are likely to have 2 eggs are likely to be fertilized. 2 or more eggs are likely to be fertilized at the same time. Also, it is more common to see people after the age of 35 having to use assisted reproductive technologies, and because of how expensive these things are, IUI, IVF, etc., people tend to want to fertilize a lot more eggs because there's a chance that some of those eggs will not survive, and there's also a high chance that those eggs will survive. So because of that, you tend to see a lot of assisted reproductive technology babies being multiples, okay? And your AMA, advanced maternal age patients, mothers are prone to have that, okay? Another and the final thing on this end, another thing that you're prone to have, there's a risk to having a really stressful pregnancy. So having mentioned all that, what are things that you can do to mitigate this risk? I'm sure I didn't even mention all of them. There are many of them, but these are the ones that my head could remember or could say for you guys. So what are the ways that you can mitigate it? I think the first way, is to get knowledge, is to understand the risks that are involved in AMA. Just be informed, understand it, and if you're going into it, go in informed. The second thing that you would do is eat healthy, exercise, diet right before the time where you're to carry your child or your children. It will help you. The healthier your body is, the easier it is for you to avert all of these hypertensive disorders, gestational diabetes, etc. Even though the causes of some of those things are unknown, but they advise you to do this, okay? Another thing that you are advised to do is to seek out a care provider, that is a doctor, a midwife, or similar, that is an expert in this area, the area of handling AMA patients and mothers. It will help you. It will help your journey, okay? Another thing that will be the AMA mothers are advised, they should get vaccinated. Make sure your system is well tested, well vaccinated before you go in to the phase of pregnancy. I hope that this has been helpful. Though short, I hope you've learned a thing or two, and by God's grace, we'll see each other next week. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you to the old subscribers. Thank you to my new subscribers. I love you all. We are one family, so be open. Just come. Let's talk together. I'm here in the comment sections. My DMs are open right on Instagram. I want to answer all your questions if I can. The ones that I can answer. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Much love. Bye. Have a blessed week.